Hey, Ari here, leader of the race mixing revolution. Thanks for joining me in another video here. In this video, I wanted to talk about something that's a powerful analogy to what I'm doing with race mixing. It's Martin Luther's 95 Theses, or the Disputation on the Power of Indulgences. So Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King, Martin Luther, he was a German philosopher, theologian, person who studied religion, and he wrote a book. He wrote not necessarily a book, but he wrote 95 theses, so a multiple of theses on why the Pope should not be using indulgences. So indulgences at the time, this was the 1400s, 1500s time. The Pope would and the Catholic Church would sell indulgences to people, and these would be ways like certificates that they would commercialize to sell to people, and so they would buy in order to reduce the amount of punishment they would get for their sins. And so there was some kind of a punishment system, some kind of a moral system, some kind of a spiritual system, all these things that were kind of coming in together. And the Catholic Church realized that it needed money. And so this is one strategy among many others that the church used to get money. And so it makes you think, why? Why did they do this? And is it right? And many people at that time were thinking this as well. And the culture was changing. There were some people even 100 years before Martin Luther, even before that, that were thinking that some things need to change, that some things aren't right. And these indulgences had always been a problem for a long time. And so Martin Luther wrote these indulgences. He posted them on churches. He posted them on the All Saints Church on All Saints Day. And so it was a day, a very important religious day for a lot of people. And he would send the document to people that he knew. And he would get this circulating. And it rapidly became something circulated around Germany as well as the rest of Europe. And people started to understand what he was talking about. People were aware of this, but he really just laid it down explicitly. He said, this is what's going on, and this is why we're disputing it. We're disputing the power. And so after this, a lot of things changed. A lot of things he had to change. He had to explain himself. He actually wrote an explanations on the disputations concerning the value of indulgences. So he got some backlash, and he had to write this whole thing where he had to explain himself. And he was saying, okay, guys, I'm not attacking you. Because there was a time 100 years before some people would attack the Pope, and some people would reject the Pope and say, no, we want war. We want, something more. But Martin Luther, he wanted conversation. He said himself it was for academic debate and these kind of things. But it became more than that. It transcended academia. He was an academic man, and he was a lot of times fixated on his academia, but he created a social revolution. He created the Protestant Reformation of Christianity, a very important piece in Christian history. Up to that point, Catholicism was going through many different things. There were some schisms, some splits in Catholicism, but this was one of the biggest splits in Christianity. Catholicism and the Protestant Reformation. These were two different things. And Catholicism and Protestantism both exist today, so it says something about the longevity of something even post-schism. Even after something separates, both things being able to exist functionally if, everything should go right. And so with those things in mind, I want you to think about race mixing. What does race mixing have to do with this? And how can race mixing be like that? And what is what I'm doing similar to what Martin Luther was doing? I want you to understand that. I basically outlined some of the things that he said and did. And Christianity has changed so much, and we can see the difference. We can see the differences between Catholic and Christian people. And so in some ways we think, how is this going to happen in race mixing? Is there going to be just mixed people and not mixed people? People who obviously believe in race mixing and people who obviously don't? Is there going to be some gray area? Trying to get this image of the future. It's very interesting. It's something that excites me. It's something that obviously is unsettling as well. People that will use it for, something violent or something inappropriate, whatever it might be, mischief of whatever kind of personal reasoning that they take this in association with, and then they make something bad from it. I understand that this is potentially a problem, and that's not something that I want, obviously. That's something that you can tell by the tone, and it's something you can tell by my demeanor and just the consistency of the videos that I've made up to this point and many other things that I'm doing in my life. I'm communicating that I want something more. I want something more than violence. I want to transcend violence. I want to non-violently challenge as many things as I can in my life. That is one of my biggest passions. That's one of the things that I've learned from a young age is there's power to words. There's power to being able to challenge something, making people frustrated and in some ways going to war with them, battling them and challenging them, these kind of things. But at the same time, not violently and not in such a way that it completely reduces everything that we built up to this point. And so there's a sense of evolution to everything that I'm doing. This is an evolution. This is not something ending and something beginning necessarily. It can seem like that. We might write history like that in one way or another. But this is a constant evolution. This is a part of everything. If anything, part of my life is Martin Luther's life. Is so many other people that have race mixed without realizing, without having to say, without having documented, oh, this was an incident of race mixing I've just witnessed in my life, and these are mixed race people. A lot of times that wasn't a thing. And so now I realize these things are changing, and there's a reason for that. There's a good reason for that. And this age of, documenting things and being aware of what kind of information we have available to us, we have to get strategic, and we have to get creative, and we have to stay sharp. And we have to believe in something. Out of all the things that we have access to, information or otherwise, we have to believe in something. And so if you know that there is a problem with racism, if you know there's a problem with something in your life, and race mixing might not be the exact answer for you, but it has some answers for you, please get involved. Get in touch with me. Support me in some ways that you can. Because I really need the support right now. I really need the help in the most basic sense of the word. I need help. I need people that can help me. I need to know people. I need to change a lot of things in my life. And I don't want to be Martin Luther. I want to be better than Martin Luther. I want to be better than the Pope. In some ways, I can be an analogy to Martin Luther. I can also be an analogy to the Pope. I should make another video called Is Ari the Pope? I've made some different Is Ari videos. I think Is Ari the Pope is an interesting question. Anyways, that's for another time. But as we move into the future, I want you to ask yourself where you stand and who you are. I want you to ask similar questions that I've been asking you. I want you to be able to use me as a reference. I hope that every video that I've created is kind of like one of Martin Luther's theses, that it's just one step closer. Because at the end of the day, did he need 95 of these? I'm at episode 95. Do I need 95 of these? Do I need 950 of these? Do I need 1,000,000 of these? How many of these videos do I need to make before something happens? Before I don't need to make any more videos? Is there going to be a time when I don't need to make any more videos? This is all very interesting questions to me. It's things that I'm trying to figure out myself. And I appreciate you being part of this journey with me. I really do. I appreciate up to this point every video that you might have seen and might not have seen, and people many years in the future from now watching these videos. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you've gained something from this. I hope that I've given you some understanding, some perspective, and some inspiration. And I hope I can do that for people, every day. Every day. Tomorrow, I hope I do that for somebody. The day after tomorrow, I hope I do that for somebody. Really. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've taken some of these words for yourself. Please make some conversations based on these things. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, support me on Patreon and any other way that you can. I have a lot of things planned for the future that I hope you can get involved with in your own way and you can make it your own. I really do. And yeah. Till next time, I hope that Martin Luther has been a good example here. I'm going to be looking to more analogies into the future. And I hope you learned something about history, about Christianity, race mixing, and more. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I got a lot more videos coming out in the future. Please share my video, copy the link, send it to some people, share it on social media. Please support me on Patreon. As little as $1 a month, you can help me in these very critical early phases of the revolution, help me build it from the ground up. Please remember my words and take them with you into the future. And thanks for watching again. I'll see you next time.